Welcome to the School of Body Language in Public Speaking. Today with us, we're having the honor and the pleasure to have Mrs. Simona Petkova, a life coach, and she will lead us to the ways and how she approached public audiences, how she approached Greek audiences, Slovakian audience, and Czech Republic audiences. She will give us her light, her open mind, with her open heart, to find ways to approach the audience. So as the public speakers, to know how we found and new ways, new thought, and how we will help us to navigate better the audience that we are having in front of us. Simona, nice to having you here with us.
Thank you so much, Roxani. Very pleased to be here with you as well.
Perfect. I would like just to give us a little bit background about the beautiful and the amazing work that you are doing as a life coach. You are an ICF coach, and how it came to you and choose this beautiful and magnificent career path.
Thank you so much. Absolutely. So when it comes to me, the journey was actually the transformational journey, I will call it, as for myself. I went through either professional experiences in my life, but together at the one part happening also the personal changes through which I needed to or life was navigating me through, I would say. I left myself, like being guided on the journey. So I started to coach in an IT field. That's my background. Where I started to gain the knowledge and the experiences within the Scrum and Agile. I'm coming from those methodologies and working with the teams of the people around the world. I would say I was supporting many markets, really, either from the Nordic market to a UK, to a Benelux, working then with a lot with the people also in Slovakia, in the Czech Republic, in Switzerland. So that was really a huge journey when it comes to working with the teams. However, my professional life, was not the only that I would say that was leading me through this journey, but it was a consequence of my personal life, where I have been transitioning through the countries. When I was 22, I was living in Greece, where I was moving. I would say I was guided to Greece, kind of, by the universe once again. And that was the first country where I was living abroad, then coming back to Slovakia, later on approaching also for a while Austria, and then moving to a Czech Republic. So I have experienced a little bit over those countries. And in general, somewhere in between, I've started to learn and understand the aspects based on my experience, but also my own interest into life coaching. And that was 3 years ago when I started to study those aspects, from which I've decided to go through this journey also on my own as a life coach.
I like, so you have been around because you are young and you've made all this transition, and you came in contact with so many cultures, different cultures. What is the main point? What is the starting point for you when you came to 82 years old with this big luggage? Let's say you landed in Greece. What is the first type, the approach? By instinct, by logic, I don't know what, how you approach the people, the Greeks, that they don't all of them speak English anyway. Tell me a little bit, what is the way, how you approach this first cultural experience of yours in so young age?
Yeah, well, absolutely. I was very I need to come to my memory, and this all what was happening. So of course I was kind of enthusiastic. Yeah, I didn't have, maybe when we go younger, we don't have as much fears or, this kind of, there is nothing stopping us. We have this enthusiasm and, like a drive to go somewhere and feel like, like what can happen to us. I feel that as I was younger, I was more like a child, playful with the life. Yes.
Yes.
So that was the really what I was feeling. If I come back to this memory of that, how was that happening? And, you know, I, at that moment, maybe because of this, what I felt, I didn't have kind of a, you know, like these projections of what might be happening, you know, with me, with my life, what, you know, like this scarcity, this extreme scarcity. I really had this enthusiasm and, you know, positive only feeling is like, come on, somehow, you know, it will be sorted out. It will be okay. I will figure it out. You know, I started to kind of communicate with the people in a way of, you know, of course, via hands, body language, you know, everything. But I would say the communication via heart, you know, like I was trying with a little bit of a Greek, but of course English, with whom I can somehow, you know,
Yes.
as much as I could,
Yes.
you know, to be navigated. But I must admit, I haven't felt. It was more of an excitement than the scarcity. I felt excited for this journey, for that what will be in front of me. I didn't know exactly, but that was it. You know, really, really open kind of approach.
So I like, let's recap a little bit because you mentioned and share very interesting things that let's put a little bit more light. You say no fear. It was unstoppable.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned this. Enthusiastic and excitement. You mentioned a lot. And positive approach of life, positive approach of feeling, and mind openness. And of course, you talk about communication, heart communication.
Yes.
And
Yes.
yes, the heart communication, it is the universal language that you can connect to all people and all humans on planet Earth. I totally agree. So the approach for this young lady, Simona, 22, here in Greece, starting dreaming, having the life in front of her, enthusiastic and free of any stress and fear that creates blocking and blockages.
Blockages. Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then what happened after Greece? What is the next step that led you to communicate it maybe more with people from
Mm-hmm.
another cultures? What is the next journey of yours?
Yeah. So maybe I need to mention that I was working in Greece, then later on in the hospitality field. I've had the moments, you know, that, well, now I can say, I could not say it at that time, but now I can say it's from a perspective that were very transformational, you know, like truly uncovering my potential. Even when I was there in Greece, I believe that I might not have these moments in Slovakia, but also in the moments of a huge responsibility. When I had, for instance, I had the reservations in a restaurant where we had the moments where we had suddenly more reservations that we could have handled, and we had many clients, you know, like waiting in front of us, in front of my face, you know, like 50 people, you know, like but waiting in a row. And you know, I was very young staying in those situations, and at that moment I was not maybe understanding why this is happening, what is that, you know, like, but I was stated there directly because I believe because I decided for this path and I was open to that. And I was, you know, like learning how to manage the stress, how to manage, you know, the communication, how to be polite, how to truly explain to people the things that we needed to explain, how to find the ways, how to work with them. I was working really with the professionals that were guiding me through all this kind of a skills and knowledge, this set of how to behave properly to a five-star client, to really reach people. And you know, I was into all of this when I was in Greece, so that was a lovely experience. I cannot say anything. So to answer your question, when I was then leaving from Greece, it was during the critical situation in the country, during the crisis mode. So I was coming back to Slovakia. What was truly happening to me, because I was mainly in Greece talking in Slovak and I'm sorry, in Greek, really less of Slovak and English. So when I came to Slovakia, I obviously after 3 years, I could not pronounce everything perfectly. I wasn't that fluent in Slovak. So I was already thinking, you know, like what I should do, where I can employ myself. So of course, finding a job, normal human constraints, yeah. So I found a job in the law office, where I was working as a assistant, having the responsibility of other assistants as well. So I was a little bit like again in this managing position, let's say, underneath. And I was working with a lot of lawyers, so reading the text in Slovak, but it was also a little bit more international, so also in English and German. I was also translating, helping with the translation of some things that we need to send to courts, and also later on over proofreadings and those things. Now, so it was good for my experience. Yeah, I was again still in this in this part when I needed to take care of and have this responsibility.
So I like a lot about, let's open again what you have already shared with us and put it in from the communication perspective, that all this transformational journey that you took us from the Greece, we go now to Slovakia, to the law office, from the hospitality, you change all this perspective, all these career paths,
yes,
different people, another style. Let's say the Greek, the hospitality, it was more creative and organizational and managerial and people. And this line of 50 people in front of you to manage your own emotions and to manage also the others, emotional intelligence arised and enhanced, of course, it's logical. And then you move to Slovakia to another style. You go more logical part to put it in the box, the lawyer office. So you cultivate also this part. So both brains, it was boosting and enhancing in order to give you the tools and to give you the experience that now you are a great life coach for us, and to communicate in front of people and audiences international. How well, let's say the first official question about our diverse audience and the people, what is the main, I keep the word, the heart communication, I keep it in my mind. So when you have this variety of people, then you have different backgrounds, or you have different cultures. How you make the opening, how you organize the opening of your public speaking, what do you take in consideration, when you know that I'm going to speak Zoom or on stage and I have different cultures?
I need to find something that I understand will be captivating and logical for all of us to connect. Yeah, but it needs to be obviously from the heart. That is where everything starts, as you mentioned. But important is also that it will, connect us in our human experience, in our needs, in our values. So that is really also when talking with such amount of people, by having these experiences, by having these people in front of me, to find a common language of that is understandable to us all. So really start from the very basic, very simple things, but I need to open it in a way that it will connect, it will drag us all together.
I like this. Okay, yes, please.
Yes, and I need to also think about, how we all, I cannot think also on only from my own perspective, like from being I don't consider myself being Slovak, being Greek, whatever. I consider myself now being open to any culture. So I'm kind of multicultural mindset, but I feel that we need to connect really through our understanding and be open to understanding of the perspective of others. So I'm always thinking the way, how I can interpret what the others say, that they will understand it. That means that I'm asking the questions. I'm always like double checking with the people. When they say something, I'm asking them, so is this the way how you meant it? Because it can be meant differently. Or what is what is that the result that you want to tell me? What do you think that is the result? I'm trying to understand their thinking. I never know, based on it is really, I believe it's difficult for us to determine that. because we are putting there ourselves. If I would leave myself only in my position, trying to understand something, I'm just keeping it based on me. But I need to understand you. I need to understand how you are thinking based on your experience, and then understand you.
Yes, I like it. Let me recap again in order people to put it all in one perspective about, let me see, because I have read many things. So one that, no, yes, of course. You try to understand the other person's, people's audience, the person that of course, you're making a lot of questions. So you want the interaction to be interactive. After that, the main point of the questions underneath it is to find the understanding, to find the perception, to see if what you are sharing, it has been first understandable, people understand it, and what is their perspective in order for you to adapt and to make it more simply, to make it more easier for them to digest, to understand, in order to go forward with your speaking, with your public speaking, with what you are sharing. And also you say many beautiful things like, yes, of course, you want in the beginning, you use some logical part as a baseline. You need some baseline, something to start, some stable concrete ground, let's put it like that, something stable. But also you use to captivate the heart. So you start to find, to connect with values, to connect also, you say, with this, trying always to find this common language on a human being, on a human basis level. And also, yes, I like it a lot. Many things. You are open. I like it a lot. You mentioned about you are open to cultures. You feel yourself as a multicultural citizen, people, human, because we are all humans. This is the reality. We are all humans. And that's why it's easier, the people that they have this perspective, this mentality, to connect easier, because you take off the layers, the different layers of that we're having on our, yes.
So we have a lot on us.
Yes, and I like it. So a lot of useful information for public speakers, international, the ones that you are talking about, and practical ones, and also philosophical ones, because it should be a combination right now. So my next question, it is, in what ways might a diverse audience be different? Let's say the differentiation in a Greek audience, let's put more now precise, and in a Slovakian. I don't want to make comparison. I need only to share if I'm going to speak as a public speaker in Slovakia, even in Greece, that it is my country. What you suggest me to do, or not to do?
So when it comes, I will be very humbly speaking as from my point of view. Yeah, we may see it everyone differently, but I'm just about to talk about my perspective, because I believe that in our countries, Slovakia, Czech Republic, Germany, Austria, all these countries in this block of the countries, that we are not having the sea, we are not experiencing the life within the sea. Because I experienced that. I come through my experience through all that moments of a difference and of understanding it, how different it is by having, something so alive, living in a country that is surrounded by the sea, having this different culture set. We are a little bit more, I would say, focused on the structure. The structure, the kind of, rules, even, I would say. So those two, definitely, I would suggest anyone talking to our audience to put their structure, a little bit of the approach of, what we are about to do, how we are about to do, and, then open up a little bit more this friendly atmosphere, and, like a connect. Compare it to audience and to working with the people. that have the sea overseas, you know, the people living with the language, with the body language, expressing themselves, you know. So that can be a lot of a body language from very beginning, you know, truly captivating the people by the feeling of, you know, togetherness, by giving this, you know, human aspect, because you are very much, I believe your culture is more open than ours. So for what I've experienced, that we may not open up so easily to the strangers, you know. It is happening also with the Slovaks and with the others, with the Czechs, with the Germans, Austrians, whatever, but it will not come on the first moment. It will come later on. We need to get used to you a little bit.
I like so much. I like it a lot that you made this differentiation, and because this is reality, it is another culture, and we have to be, as a public speakers, conscious about our audience. We have to ask, to make our research, to see blogs, to read, in order to understand the mentality, in order not to be very dynamic and very expressive in an audience that they need some time. Make it a little bit friendly, because you share in the beginning, you suggest in Czech Republic, in Slovakia, to just keep it a little bit friendly, slowly, give your examples, the scientific data, make the structure, explain maybe the content, what you are going to share as a public speaker, and then they will open to you, and then you can play another performance. If you are in another countries, the C countries, the countries that they are more body language expressive, then you can start from the beginning, the theatrical and openness and this huge, and you can play with emotion, because then it will be easy. Because the point of a public speaker, it is the message and how you give value to the audience. So as a public speakers, we have to be conscious about our audience. This is the meaning and the point of this project that we're doing, and we're having amazing coaches and mentors coming to this body language channel, because we want you to open the mind, the perspective, and to feel confident when you have an audience in front of you, and an audience that it's totally different from your own culture. So that is why Simona is here with us, and she's sharing her time, all the details about Simona, about her bio, the links from social media to find and reach here. It will be on the section below about the description of this particular video. So Simona, thank you again